ChristianRadio.com. More stations, more podcasts, and more uplifting faith-building programs. Download the app now by visiting ChristianRadio.com.
The Experienced Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Braggin' hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG, FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experienced Pros.
Hello and welcome back to the Experienced Pros Radio Show with Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer. Very nice to have you along with us today. Oh boy, we got royalty in the studio.
Royalty. That is a very good word for Robert Johnson. You know him. He comes in every single month to do our sober living segment. If you've got any questions, you want to talk to him, email him at robert@highlandsranchcounselor.com, robert@highlandsranchcounselor.com. Robert Johnson, welcome back to Experience Pros.
Thanks for having me.
Very nice to have you along with us, Robert. Now, what are we talking about today?
Talking about signs of an addiction. What your parents, what your loved one can identify, and
Robert,
what you want to do about it.
Robert,
right?
Is it easy to hide an addiction from people that are close to you, or are there just obvious signs that I am completely oblivious about?
Yes and no.
Oh, look, I threw you.
The fact that there are obvious signs, you have to be looking for them, whether it be lying or manipulating, weight loss, money problems. Relationship issues, legal problems. Those are kind of obvious. It's the isolation, the withdrawing from family, right, that's not as obvious.
All right. So when we see these signs, and we can cover more in detail if you want to. When we see them, what do we do with that information? How can we help?
Well, you can talk to your loved one that's exhibiting those behaviors. Encourage them to seek treatment. Talk to another person like me, or whether it be a priest or maybe grandparents or someone that's going to listen.
If we are, we get them to somebody who's going to listen, is it often the case, Robert, when they can help with an intervention, or is it a process? Because I think to myself that the addict doesn't know that they want help yet. Right. So we get them to somebody. We get them to somebody like you. How do you break down the walls to get into to get behind the barriers that the addict themselves are putting up?
Well, you have to find out what's important to the person that might be struggling with that substance dependence issue. If family is a huge part of their life, and that family is going to be taken away if they choose to not do this intervention or seek treatment, that could be a huge motivator. So you need to find out what
I'm just curious,
is.
Robert, how do, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with this, so I apologize, but does the person who is addicted, do they even know how bad it is and how badly it's affecting the rest of their family? Sometimes I think they really think they still got a grip on it. Like, it's, do you have a drinking problem? No, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
There's lots of different stages of recovery, and being pre-contemplative, I don't have a problem. What problem?
Right? Yeah. That's what I would think.
That's a really tough place there's no therapy that's going to happen with that person. It's all going to be education. If you use drugs or smoke cigarettes, you're doing some damage to your health.
Right.
There's lots of different educational varieties to handle that person.
All right. So you've brought somebody in who can listen and work through. And I think talking through is a very valuable element to this. You say that recovery, and by recovery, I think that you mean ongoing long-term recovery, is available. It's possible. Even, I was talking to somebody earlier this week, Robert, and, I asked her, I said, are you ready for the holidays? And she broke down and cried. And I wasn't expecting the response. And she says, I'm sorry, my brother has just checked himself in to a long-term rehab. And he's abusing cocaine. And she was crushed over the whole thing because he's going to miss Christmas and all of that. And I tried to encourage her that, this is worthwhile in the end, right? He's safe. Yeah.
Safe. He's going to be there for the next Christmas, hopefully.
There are some good programs out there. Yeah.
There are. And, it doesn't have to be necessarily Denver, Colorado. There's Arizona, there's California, there's Texas, there's Florida. Lots of good programs out there. If, for instance, they want to stay around family, there's a few available. You can look at my website at coloradocounselor.org/resources.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good programs out there. I've visited each of them. I know the clinical team.
That's one of the things that kind of differentiates you from a lot of the therapists and counselors around, is that you actually you go on field trips.
I do.
You go out, you meet the people in these various states and go through their organization. I would imagine that you ask a lot of questions. Yeah.
I like to see what this bright, shiny brochure is different than talking with.
Right. Want to see it in person.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that you check it out and you really take care of your clients. We're talking with Robert Johnson. He is our sober living expert, and you can connect with him. Send him an email, robert@highlandsranchcounselor.com. Robert, is there a phone number we want to give out?
Sure. 720-336-4019.
Do that again.
Sure. It's 720-336-4019.
And so as we are hanging out with our family, we might need to start paying a little closer attention to some of the signs. Because when you said isolation and withdrawal, I'm thinking, well, then we're not really paying attention to that. Are there some things that when they're in front of us, some behaviors, and I know changes in behaviors really means we really have to start paying attention more than just the gloss over, right?
Well, you think of someone that's very defensive or blaming others for not taking responsibility for their own actions. Those are huge red flags. And when I was compiling this list, I saw myself. All of these.
Okay, so your story is that you were an addict and you have gone through recovery. How many years ago?
It's coming up on 17.
17 years ago, right? And it's funny that you should say that I saw myself, because I see myself. I had a problem when I was 16 years old, and it's been something like 32 years, 40 something years. I don't know, but a lot. I can't do the math. But lying about the use, erratic behavior, mood swings, withdrawing and loss of interest in activities that they once enjoyed. I mean, there's a lot of things there that really describe how we used to be.
Right. And I want to get across that there is hope, and recovery is possible. Just have to stop digging that hole, throw that shovel away, and start progressing.
And for the addict who wants to believe that but doesn't know how to throw the shovel away, that's where the family comes into play, right? And get somebody else involved.
Right. There's those hardcore interventions. There's a TV show. It doesn't have to be that way. They can just have a calm talk in my office and say, "Hey, we think you have a problem. Yeah. We'd like you to try abstinence. Try talking with someone and see where it goes."
All right, Robert, give your phone number one more time, please.
Sure, 720-336-4019.
And you can be found online at coloradocounselor.org.
Right.
Coloradocounselor.org. And click on the resources button, or go to the /resources, and you'll find all the various other states that have approved by you. There's a face behind the brand, right?
Right.
It's not just a website. It's you who have gone and done the homework and said, these guys are all right.
And there will be more coming in the next year.
I love it. And I think it is so important. I think if somebody's going to recover, they've just got to know they've got their family supporting them, waiting for them,
huge
right?
Piece.
I imagine. And yet it probably gets to be really ugly and stressful in that relationship until they get through that.
But you're not alone.
There's
lots of people out there going through what they're going through.
One more time with the phone number.
Sure. It's 720-336-4019.
That's Robert Johnson. You folks need to know this gentleman. We'll be back right after these messages. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Network.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive